The day had already felt strangely heavy for Ethan Ward, though he couldn't put a reason to it. Maybe it was the quiet hum of his empty apartment, or the golden evening light hanging outside his window, almost as if the world was quietly waiting for something to shift. He had put extra effort into getting ready that evening, straightening his shirt twice, checking his hair, reminding himself that this night could finally be a small step out of the loneliness he'd lived with for years. But everything changed the moment his phone buzzed. A message. Short, cold, final. "I'm sorry I can't come." No explanation, no context, just a blind date. Canceled. Before we go deeper, if you believe in kindness, compassion, and second chances, please like, comment, share, and subscribe. Your support helps these stories reach more hearts. Ethan stepped out of the restaurant with a mixture of disappointment and quiet acceptance. He wasn't angry. Life had shown him that people often hide battles no one else sees. Still, something nudged at him. A soft pull, a feeling that tonight wasn't finished. Instead of heading to his car, he wandered toward the far end of the parking lot, letting the warm breeze steady his thoughts. That's when he saw her. A woman sitting on the pavement beside a navy blue SUV, knees pulled close. Trembling with silent tears, she was trying desperately to hide. Beside her were two children, a little boy around 5 and a girl maybe 4, watching their mother with worried, innocent eyes. Their clothes were clean but worn, the mother's blouse slightly wrinkled, like she had rushed to look presentable. But life had thrown something heavy at her, and then Ethan recognized her. Her face, the soft chestnut hair, the blue top. It was Claire Bennett, the same woman who had canceled on him just 30 minutes earlier. But instead of a polished blind date, she was here, collapsed in a parking lot with her children leaning into her for comfort. He paused for only a moment before walking toward her. There was no awkwardness, no rehearsed introduction, just two people meeting at the exact moment one of them was falling apart. When Claire lifted her head and saw him, her eyes widened with embarrassment. She looked like someone who had tried to hold everything together and couldn't anymore. She tried to apologize, stumbling through half sentences, but Ethan gently shook his head. She didn't need to explain. Her pain spoke louder than words ever could. And so she finally told him the truth. Her husband had abandoned her and their kids 3 years earlier, choosing an easier life with someone else. She had been working 2 jobs and studying at night just to keep her home standing. And after years of convincing herself she didn't deserve happiness, she finally agreed to a blind date arranged by a friend. But right before she left home, her babysitter canceled. Panic set in. Her kids were asking questions. Her heart was racing, and she realized she couldn't walk into a fancy restaurant holding everything she was hiding. So she canceled, then broke down. Ethan listened, every word settling into him like the soft glow of dusk around them. She wasn't weak. She was exhausted. She wasn't dramatic. She was drowning quietly. Her children slowly warmed up to him. Lucas shyly offered him a melted piece of chocolate. Emily proudly showed him the butterflies on her shoes. They didn't see him as a stranger. They saw him as someone safe. Ethan gently suggested something simple. A nearby, cozy diner, a place where kids belonged, where no one expected perfection. Claire hesitated, but the hope in her children's eyes made her nod. Inside the diner, the world felt softer. Warm smells of bread and fries, kids coloring on paper menus, Claire slowly breathing again. And Ethan, he didn't act like he was settling for less. He acted like this was exactly where he wanted to be. As they talked, something quiet yet powerful began forming between them. Not romance, not yet, but connection, understanding, a fragile kind of hope. Claire admitted how afraid she was of failing her kids. Ethan shared how empty his life felt since losing both parents. They weren't fixing each other. They were simply filling the empty spaces in each other's lives. By the time they walked back to the parking lot, stars dotted the sky. Claire buckled her children in, whispering goodnight. And then Emily reached out and handed Ethan a drawing. A stick figure family, holding hands under a bright sun. 4 figures, not 3. Claire froze in embarrassment, but Ethan folded the picture gently and slipped it into his pocket like treasure. Sometimes children see the future before adults do. Claire whispered that she never expected kindness from a stranger when she was at her lowest. Ethan told her simply, "You've been strong alone for too long. Tonight, let someone else be strong for you." Before we get to the ending, if this story touched your heart, please like, share, and subscribe so more people can feel its message. In the weeks that followed, nothing dramatic happened, just small moments stitching their lives together. Ethan helped with grocery runs. Claire invited him to Lucas's art show. Emily insisted he come watch her clumsy ballet twirls. Every time Ethan showed up. One evening, Claire finally asked him why he stayed, why he cared so deeply. And his answer was simple: because love isn't about perfection. It's choosing someone even when life is messy. Because your children felt like home before I understood why. Because your tears showed strength, not weakness. And as Claire leaned into him, her children laughing nearby, she felt something she hadn't felt in years: safety, partnership, hope. Before the video ends, comment below which part of Claire's journey touched your heart the most. Sometimes the most beautiful beginnings rise from the moments when everything feels like it's falling apart. And sometimes a canceled date is just destiny clearing the path for something far more meaningful.